え、左スティックも視点移動なの？ノーマル。つまりこれ動けないってこと？お、エズスフィンチ。え、
A lot of
はい。
this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
あ、動けるわ。
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
R2 でインタラ
Inside
ク
the
トって感じや
mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
上と下がある。こっち行ってみよ
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
う。鹿や。
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Missing 文字ちっちゃい。If you have information about ミルトン call the Orcas Island Place で、はい。見つけたら
Now,
なんか情
as a
報あったら連絡して
17-year-old,
ね言うと
I
話や
knew
な。
exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
そうっす。
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
え、マジ玄関の鍵じゃないん？玄関の鍵先渡せよ。しゃあないな。裏もあるか。 そっから入るの？
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
モーションブラって言ってる？でもオフにできへんな。これは家系図か。
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
缶詰食べたい。なんか買うてこようかな。
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
これ何？梱包材？お、封がしてある。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
覗きやな。ボーン。
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Calvin.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. Mom must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
他の部屋も見た方がいいんかな、これは。多分。
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
グレゴリー。エディ。
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Oh, なんかある。
Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
あ、ここの鍵。
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
コア、誰の部屋？モーリ
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
ー。ネズミの餌はまずいでしょ。トイレ。歯磨き粉も食えません。これはおもちゃのかぼちゃや。キャンディーあるのか？
My Halloween candy was all gone.
オールゴーンか。
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
寝るか。ネズミの餌食わなあかんの？
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
マジ一応歯
I
磨い
kept
とけ。
eating and eating.
え、これも食べんの？歯磨くんちゃうん？
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
は？
I tried to be
Get up.
quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
どこまで行くんや。
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
鳥を食べたくてしょうがなかった。
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
どこ行ったらいいんこれ。
Rabbits.
捕まえた。
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one thing.
一口。
Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Eh? どういうこと？どういうこと？え？サメでーす。サメでーす。サメが雪山を転が
I
ってま
rolled
す。
off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
あれ？どこ行った？おった。
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
どこや？おった。食べちゃうよ
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
ニョロニョロニョロニョロ。ホラーやん。なんかでっかいタコみたいな化け物に襲われる映画何やったっけな。
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
は
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
His 自分の寝室やん。
all of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
はいはい。これを全部埋めていくわけね。
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
オーディンのお話これだけだ。そうか。
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
はあ、悪趣味やな。
It was a pretty big trace.
介護の後って感じ。
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
キャルビン。カルビンって言ったっけ？カルビンやったっけ？
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
え？マッシュルーム食べたくないからこれは足骨折したの？長いな。
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
これいつまでこれでいいんや。なんか書いてある。見逃した。長い。これいつまでこれでいいの？やめてみよう一回。
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
ここにシーソーを作ったらまず
Maybe
接
if I
近見せや
hadn't
ろ。
said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Or maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
一回やめてみる。 何も起きへんか。
Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
飯行けよ。
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
怖っ。
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
どういう仕掛けやねん。
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
これ何？ピザ？
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie
delivery on that.